Interviews are not sexy. For every person they interview, there is countless persons they choose not to. The fact that they've actually contacted you for an interview, boom, you should be pumped, because that should let you know that you have already made one step to getting closer to the job you're desirous of having. I have gone to more than my fair share of recent interviews where people break out booklets. And what it is that there's a series of questions that they're asking you that they're looking for your response, and they're writing the answers down. You're being forced to adjust your mind to how you're going to respond to a situation that you don't even know will ever happen or has never happened to you in that specific manner before. And that can really throw you off, because what happens is when they provide these scenarios, almost invariably the scenarios are never a neat example of what you've already dealt with before. And so what happens is that the scenario situation can really unnerve you, because now what you're trying to do is you're trying to answer their question based on the scenario that they presented themselves. One of the things that's a nightmare about scenarios is that you're not sure what they're looking for. So what ends up happening is you find yourself in a situation where you are looking back and you're saying to yourself, crap, what type of answer? What did I say to them again? And then what makes it worse is you know in your mind, okay, this is what I should have said. Did I even say something that remotely was close to that? Then you get really pissed because you know that there was a better response you could have provided, but you also are mad at yourself because you didn't provide that response. So now you're in this weird funky fly situation where you're now not only having to deal with scenarios, you're now going back to say to yourself, did you give the best scenario answer? And did that response rise to the level of what they were looking for in terms of the response to that scenario? So now you're really freaking out because one, you're dealing with scenarios which you're not used to dealing with. Two, you're not sure if you're giving the best answer. And three, they're not giving you any indication that what you're telling them is letting them know that you're on the right track. The last thing you want to do is be in a position where you think you're rolling and now all this is happening. You're thinking, oh, I just screwed this up. The reality is that most of us don't engage in an interview format. We don't talk to anybody as if we're interviewing them. So being put in a situation where you're now having to communicate to individuals about something and answer questions that you're not prepared for and not really sure if you're giving the best answers, can be unnerving. But I can tell you, interviews themselves can be really unnerving if you're being placed in a position where you're being asked questions about different things that you never thought you'd have to address. Just remember one underlying overarching fact. They wanted to talk to you. So as long as you have that, don't let your head burst into flames.